Well, as we roll along with our Communication 420 Projects for Corporate Communication project presentations today, I'd like to introduce Leslie Heimbaugh. Leslie actually works for the Perry County Literacy Council, and when I was talking to Leslie about some opportunities that she had for what she was going to do with this project, she immediately thought about something that they do at each and every year. But what I was very adamant about, and I'll also share this with some others here too, is I really wanted it to be something that was outside of her job description. Of course, it wouldn't be fair for her to do a project for a class for something that she does every single day. So what she did is she discussed about a very important and actually crucial fundraiser to the Perry County Literacy Council. But it wasn't just that, which I'm sure she'll talk about in great detail. She also immensely updated the website, and she's going to show you some sort of before and afters. And she also was very involved with producing content for social media as well. So I don't steal any more of her thunder, I'd like to introduce Leslie Heimbaugh, working with the Perry County Literacy Council.
Thank you. During an interview with one of our recent GED graduates, Rodney Horst, he said this about his experience. When I first walked into the Perry County Literacy Council, I never thought it would become a turning point in my life. I can't say enough about the staff. They care about you as a person and about your story. Perry County Literacy Council is a nonprofit adult literacy center in Newport. I've been with the Literacy Council for 10 years as the office manager, and now I'm development officer and administrative assistant. I'm very, very passionate about helping Perry County adults reach their goals of self-sufficiency. PCLC's current executive director plans to retire within the next 5 years. So I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree in corporate communications as a part of a succession plan in the hopes of taking over as executive director. So I just wanted to give you a little background as to why I'm here as a woman of this advanced age. My capstone project has helped me discover a whole new reason to absolutely love my career. It gave me a unique opportunity to combine my work with my college classwork. And as Professor Miller said, to be very clear, all the work that I did for this project was completed after my normal workday ended. So during the semester, I spent the first half of the semester planning for and implementing our largest fundraiser of the year, the Race for Reading. And then during the second half of the semester, I did a major revamp of PCLC's website. To begin the first project, I plan to concentrate on the following areas of communication: event planning, content creation, social media strategy, community relations, and social media content. But I will say this, both my projects, all these areas of communication were just enmeshed in them. It's hard to pull out where one starts and one stops because they all run right into each other. Okay, as I stated, the Race for Reading is the agency's largest and most important fundraiser. We have to hit the targets that we set for this. So this year the event raised $62,500, which is the most we've ever raised. We had 12 race committee members, and the committee solicited 120 silent auction items, which raised $6,854. Of those, I solicited 30 items myself and donated 1 item. The committee also solicited 14 live auction items, which raised $11,715. I solicited 2 and donated 4. And one of the items, I'm proud to say, raised $5,000 itself. It was a dinner party that I'm going to cater. And so you can see that's half the total for the live auction. We did a direct mail campaign, and that raised about $40,000 as a part of this. We had another remaining, about $4,000 was raised with the bar and various other activities during the evening. The direct mail campaign, I designed it and mailed 900 trifold invitations and response cards. I received responses from 150 people for a 16.6 return rate. Just so you know, the average return rate in the United States for direct mail is between 0.5% and 2%. So we actually did very well with this. I'm gonna hand out one of these brochures to everybody when I'm all done talking, so you'll get a close look at it. But the important thing to know about our donors is that they tend to be they tend to be fiscal conservatives. So we try to highlight the value of adult ed and how much, and they appreciate how much PCLC can do with a very small investment from them. So over here in the corner, you see the little graphics. They show the different things we do with the money, and that circular piece there, that shows the contribution that a person who gets a GED and gets a job will add to the local economy through the tax that they'll then be paying. So the donors in this block over here, it's hard to read on this, but you'll get to see it in reality. The donors in this block are those that give $1,000 to $2,000. So they're our high-level donors. That's the most we ever get from anybody. And when they receive this piece in the mail, they're happy to see their names there. And it also attracts others to do the same that can afford to do that. So that section alone, the $1,000 to $2,000 donors, that represented $20,000 of the direct mail campaign and the surrounding campaigns. So it was quite extensive. Event planning was a big part of this, and above and beyond the event, I was a caterer and baker for 10 years. So I've catered the event for the last 9 years. I built a good reputation as a caterer, and that attracts guests. So we get a lot of people there. This was above and beyond anything else that I did for the event. It's kind of a necessary evil though, because we've gotten so used to me saving the company this much, the amount of money it would cost to do this. So we had a record crowd this year, 215 guests and 15 volunteers. The highest previous total was 180, so we really had a bang up year. We sort of center the event around Cinco de Mayo. It was the 4th this year, but it was still fun to do that. And the cupcakes you can see that I baked, they're specific to Cinco de Mayo, and we decorate them. It kind of looks like a piñata exploded up there. It's really fun. So we are able to only charge $35 for the meal, which is very cheap for a fundraiser. And I only need $15 of that to buy the food for the event. So again, we get to keep the rest of the money. Beer and $900 worth of wine were donated to the event. So that's a big help to us also. We did about 30 to 40, or 25 to 30 Facebook posts. They kept the public up to date on the auction item offerings. We put them out every couple of days. I wrote and gathered artwork, and then a member of the race committee posted them for us. They received between 20 and 25 shares, so they got out to a much broader audience. They don't reach a ton of people, but the important thing to note is they reach important people to us. They're people who are after these auction items and are willing to spend a lot of money on them. So it's the perfect, it's actually hitting the right target group now. So our goal for the race was really aggressive at 65,000. And we came up just a little short due to an unforeseen circumstance. But I wanted to see if there was anything we could do to make up for that. So I chose 70 people from our mailing list, from our large mailing list. And I said, these are people that should be given or they have given in the past. And they didn't give to this particular year's campaign. So I wrote a very moving appeal letter, personalized it by handwriting their names at the top and hand signing everyone. And I hand addressed all 70 envelopes. And I set a very quick turnaround of just a month on this because we want to see if we can reach the goal by the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30th. And after less than a week, we already have $500 towards that goal. So I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to hit it. I just wanted to give a fast shout out to the counseling center here at Central Penn, because working full time, going to school, raising a family, and then doing a huge fundraiser like this, they gave me some really helpful suggestions to manage stress, and these are things that I'll be able to keep, have as a part of my arsenal for dealing with stress in the future from now on. So it was a really lifelong learning session for me, and I would highly recommend if anybody's struggling with time management or stress issues, go see them. They're phenomenal. So I'm going to switch my focus to project 2, which was the website revamp. This project concentrated on several areas of communication, including content creation, social media strategy, community relations, and social media content. This is a before slide. I was irresponsible and didn't capture a whole lot of before stuff. I just tore into it, and after I was into it, I realized that I only took pictures of a couple things. But I think you can get the gist, though. The website before was very visually lacking. It was out of date. It wasn't that it wasn't attractive. It just didn't have any. We really don't have many photos with it. I'm just going to hit a few areas of this, and then I'll show you the after results on the website. But it's important to know that for our website, the main and most important audience for us are donors, grantors, and foundations. They require a lot of information that we don't put in the grant application, and they expect it to be on your website. So there are some dry patches in the website, but it's just information that you can't live without. This is how we got our website started 4 years ago, and it was, believe me, a tremendous improvement over what we had had before that. So one way we wanted to try to go about sprucing it up was to try to get some testimonials. It's tricky because adult literacy tends to be an anonymous business. The stigma of dropping out of high school or being unemployed is not fun for people, and it's not something they really want to brag about. But once they get through the program, they're usually so excited, and many people really do want to say something then, and they voluntarily step up and say, I want to get something out there to tell people how good this experience was for me. So I was able to capture, I think, about 13 testimonials, and we sprinkled some of those throughout the website to be able to get pictures on every page. And then I did go ahead and keep a testimonials page so that we get a little bit more in depth with some of the testimonials. I wanted to fully disclose that I've just learned about the concept of poverty porn, which occurs when websites exploit their clients' heartbreaking stories in the hopes of increasing donors. And I just want to assure everyone that the people who appear in our website positively agree to it, and we really try to capitalize on the upside of what happened. Unless we have a rare example where someone really wanted to tell her whole story, and it's heartbreaking, but she wanted to get it out there, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And then one other before, we had believe it or not, we paid a professional photographer for these hideous static photos that don't really represent the character of the agency at all. The personality of the agency is so important because, again, we don't have a lot of opportunities to be visual out in front of people. So the old photos just weren't cutting it. They don't even look like, I mean, mine looks like me, but believe me, the executive director doesn't look anything really like that. I think you'll see the vast difference we made whenever I show you the website. So without further ado, I'm going to just open this website and I'll be able to show you. So on the home page, I did keep an image that we already had because we paid money for it, and it does suit us fine. But and if you get a chance to look at the website, you should it's 4.5 minutes. We have a video that it's a little bit older. JPL Creative and their interns actually made it for us, and it really does. It gives an excellent explanation about the kind of work we do there. So these kind of mission statements are things. These are things that we must keep on there, even though they're all text solutions and things. But these are what foundations and donors are looking for. There's my first testimonial, which I think really helps to spruce up the page. I actually started something new with PCLC News, so I've got 2 stories on here now. And these are actual new things that are happening with us. We just opened up a social work office, and anyone in Perry County can come and take advantage of the social work, and there's a lot of things we can do for people. So anytime I change the news, though, I'm going to promote it on social media, and that will drive people back to the website, which is good for us. I also totally reworked upcoming events. We have 3 main events every year: the chili cook-off, the annual giving, and then the race. So I'm only going to put a graphic up there for the event that is coming next. And then when that event's done, I'll take that down, move the chili cook-off to the end, and pop the next one up and do all kinds of graphics for that. So that'll keep people engaged in another way. The bottom of every page, we have our donate button. And I reworked the donate page because there were multiple problems with it. I don't know if it'll work from here. Yeah, there we go. So I found on Creative Commons, I found a copy-free image of, I always want to call him Morgan Freeman, Nelson Mandela, and a great quote from him. And I was able to use some pictures that we had around for the website. But this basically just talks about the return on investment and what happens to people when they go through our program. And you know, we didn't even have a way to donate before. We really don't take credit cards except once a year during the race. But you know, telling people the best way to donate. And then there are a couple other ideas here for plan giving or supplies or like the United Way campaign. Some people had that opportunity at work. So that worked out really well. So the Race for Reading, this is the first year that I've ever done anything with the race. And as you can see here, I set up a photo carousel of pictures from the race. And for our people, this will mean a lot to our people because people really enjoy seeing their picture on a website and seeing their names. Coming up here shortly, Professor Bice is on our board. She just resigned yesterday because she's going to move closer to Harrisburg, but there she is. She was at the event. But down here at the bottom then, I put everyone's name that helped out in any way in bold so that they could see themselves, you know, reflected here. So that's the race page. The about page, again, got actually Professor Bice in there also for a nice testimonial. This is a picture of when the governor visited us at PCLC. And then we've got, you know, some boilerplate stuff that has to be in there for foundations and stuff. This is a frequently asked questions for students, and we've got an enrollment page here. So anything someone wants to sign up to do with us, if you want to be a tutor or if you want to get involved in any way, you just fill all this information out, hit submit, and it comes straight to me, and I disseminate it to whoever it's appropriate to get it in our office. So that really works out well. And then further down on about, we have our staff portraits now. So you can see the big difference between those horrible static images and these colorful, bright, you know, smiling faces of people that actually look like they want to be there and they're happy to help. I've got 2 more to retake, but this guy and this woman work outside the office, and I hardly ever get to see them. So I got to grab those 2 again, but still, I'm really proud of it. Then the board of directors, obviously, that's a boilerplate thing that has to be on there too. Programs and recognition. I changed that page to include recognition because we get a lot of awards. Let me just say before I get down to the bottom of recognition is the catalog of programs is very text heavy, but it's got a lot of bulleted points, a lot of points of entry where you can jump in and learn something about what we do. It kind of has to be that way because again, the people that are giving us money want to see that these are the programs we offer. But down here, the recognition page, this is like the last 3 or 4 years worth of awards, and we get recognized quite a bit, and it's a really nice thing that now we have it all in one location that people can check out. History is probably the thing I'm the most proud of because up to this point, well, this is the first time in the agency's 37-year history, PCLC has its complete story can be found in one place. It doesn't repeat all of the services, but rather explains important moments in the agency's evolution. I interviewed the founder and other stakeholders, and really it's the story of an innovative agency evolving to meet the needs of a growing and changing population. Got some historical photos in there from old race committees and things, and some new stuff. So it's really a nice collection of information, you know, that basically tells how we got started. A great pull quote from our founder. And then another thing I'm really proud of is this personal stories page. This was a student who was very brave and wanted to share her 20-year struggle to get her GED. I actually wrote this in Professor Miller's class last time. But we decided we'd post it because it really is, it's raw and very personal, but she hoped that by making her story public, that she could help someone move past their fear and frustration and to become successful. And her last line here, I had to clean it up for a family website, but she says, I'll even let you take my picture because her real words were, I'm proud as shit of that diploma. So she got her GED, but she didn't really classify her language too much, but she was just adorable. But I encourage you to read it because she's really been through a lot. Then the testimonials page, you'll see I have some repetition, but what's nice about this is I was able to go in a little more depth with their testimonials so I could put some background information in and a couple more things that they said about us. So it really turned out well. And we have a lot of diversity, you know, and show all kinds of different situations. People that are supporters, people that are tutoring pairs, legislators. Is that okay? I'll wrap it up here. I just want to show you just quickly my blog page, and so I customized the blog entries that we did for this class to make them appropriate for our website. And it's a very broad topic because I set it up, it's called Views on Adult Education. So I wanted to keep it open-ended so that it could be anything about adult education. My journey, our students' journey, could be something from our executive director. But we're absolutely going to make a commitment to post once per month, promote on social media to drive people back. It's going to force me to keep this website fresh and current so that when people come back, they're not going to continue to see the same old stuff. Okay, to wrap this up, this project was an absolute game changer for me in my work. Perry County Literacy Council could never have completed a task as big as this website without this project. And it's a gift to the agency that I cannot calculate the value. I learned so much from it, and my confidence is soaring, I must say. I still have a lot to learn, I know that. But I never thought that I could succeed as a writer, that I could do work like this, that people are getting very excited about, and anecdotally the feedback has been phenomenal, and let alone actually enjoy writing it. And finally, the process has convinced me more than ever of the value of taking the time to share our students' stories, with their permission, of course, because it's imperative for PCLC's website to be a place where supporters, donors, and volunteers can deepen their understanding of exactly how much good we can do together. So thank you.